Love, it has been good to me this time around. Things were bound to change when it was found. Sugar never tasted sweeter on my lips. My heart is now intact and I can find
Well, hello and welcome to another scintillating episode of XRadLive, the talk show that really does get you talking. And once again, Facebook is getting on my back and asking me for codes and my inside leg measurement and everything else that it could possibly ask for when I'm actually just trying to start my show with a level of dignity. I've just shared the link in the main body, and I'm just going to share it on the XRadLive page. So if you are watching, please share the video so people are aware that we have started or are attempting to start there. But for the grace of God, go I. There we go. It's all shared. It's all ready. And I can start too. Hi, everybody. I will come and say hello to everybody in the live feed in just 1 second when I can see exactly where I am at. Oh yes, on today's show, live from an undisclosed location, my guest will be fashion doyen Ola Huatma, and I catch up with Joe Messina, producer of The Real Side. Coincidentally even, I will be guest hosting tonight from 6 till 9 o'clock Pacific time. So make sure you come and join us there later too. Hey to everybody, I will come and say hello in just 1 minute, I promise. You can have your say in the live feed, and as usual, we'll be sharing your comments as we go along. You can call in if we get that far, and you can follow me on social media. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sirree. So it's time now for me to get on my soapbox. So in a week where we buried George Bush Sr., that is, be nice, our president was snubbed at his funeral, and the Democrat criminati looked down their noses at the Donald. Now, I'd like to say that this shocked me, but their level of response did not with regards to him and his beautiful wife. Bush Jr. and Shelley Obama canoodled and swapped candy once again, whatever floats your boat, Georgie. It does make me question America's patriotism at times, because this man wins the election fair and square, gives up his lavish lifestyle to improve our country, which frankly had, under Obama, really gone to the dogs. And this level of response is what he tends to get. His moment of respect was critiqued too by Anderson Cooper and his panel of jackals. Jackals is the closest word I can use to describe them and remain polite. He didn't stand there for long enough. He wasn't sincere enough. He only saluted because he felt he had to. Let's face it, whatever he had done, they would have found fault with it. And frankly, I'm tired of this BS. And to add to this, Senator McCain's widow has been critical of the president this week for, guess what? Not attending her husband's funeral. Hello? Is there anybody in there, Cindy? He was told he was not welcome. Now, the Donald is damned if he does, and he's also damned if he doesn't. When can we all get back to working with the president to keep America great and continue the good work he has begun? Frankly, this hate is nauseating me to the point of not wanting to engage with those who choose to support this level of divide, because this level of response is indicative of the fact that President Trump is actually doing something right, as they hated him from day one. His decisions are clearly to the benefit of the American people, but meet such disdain because they will stop all of the kickbacks that these people are getting. This is what they hate, not the man, the decisions. We must all fight valiantly to defend his decisions, the bells in the background that we agree with, and ensure to publicly voice that support. Now, far too many of his initiatives are poo-pooed because they are from his administration. And that, to me, is so un-American, to say the least. Now, the politicians attempting to block the Donald's initiatives clearly have much to lose financially, or would care more about what is best for America and the American people. There's a war on out there, folks, not one of weapons, but one using hate, and it's an attempt to stop the corruption of this country. Anyone bringing that new message will be hated and vilified, and if you support it, you will be too. I am not here to be liked. Isn't that a good job? I am here to make a difference. What will you do, folks? God bless President Trump, and God bless America. Now, if you want to get on your soapbox, you can go to xandergibb.com/contact. That's xandergibb.com/contact. And we will get you on the show. Oh, yes, we will. So let's go to the live feed and see who's there and say hello to a few people. I've had such technical problems tonight, even getting the camera in the right position, and then it slips. And you cannot guess unless you've done live broadcasting. Hello to Keith. Hi to Pat. Welcome. Hello. Keith says... can't repeat that live. Keith says that you always got dignity from me, man. You rock. Thank you. Hi to Zell. Hello to who else is in there? There's like 12 comments from one person to go through. Hello to Jason. Sending you lots of good thoughts out there. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Hello to Sonia and Philip. Hello to Jules. Hi to Jace. Hello to Soph. Hi to Chet. Hope you're doing good, my friend over there. Hello to Justin, who says, hear ye, hear ye. I need a bell. That wasn't a bell in the background. That was the clock in my hall, and it chimes in. And sometimes I forget to switch off the chime when I'm going to broadcast live. So you get this chiming in the background. Hello to Matt. Hope you are good. I bet you're DJing somewhere tonight. Who else is out there? Zal wants to know if the poo-poo was on a platter. No, unfortunately, it was not. I'm sure most of you out there can get what I'm saying. I actually watched the funeral this week, and in fairness, I didn't agree with a lot of Bush Sr.'s politics, or with a lot of his commentary, or a lot of what he did. But I still believe we should have some kind of dignity in death. And I believe that we should show a little bit of respect to people that have died. I'm sure that will be tested in the future when certain politicians leave this mortal coil, but that will remain to be seen. Keith says, damn, my friend called and I missed the last 5 minutes. Anything of noteworthy? Well, the beauty of this show is if you miss any of it, what you can do afterwards is you can go and watch it again. So feel free to do that. Feel free to take notes. Less profanity in the chat room, please, folks. What else did I want to tell you about? Yes, I had an interesting experience last night. I'd like to get your thoughts on it. Now, the home shopping concept in America is a little bit different to what it is here. And in the UK, you can get your groceries, you can order them online, and they'll come and deliver them for you, and they'll bring it into your house. Now, a company did that for me last night. I'm going to name and shame this company. They're called Asda. That's A-S-D-A. And basically, what they did to me was the delivery driver brought my things into the kitchen, put them on my work surface, and I followed him out. And basically, he got to the door before me, closed the door, and had left mud all the way through my hall. is it common sense that when you go into someone's house that you should wipe your feet, or should you need to be asked? Tell us in the chat room what you think, or you can also give us a call. Where is the number? The number. It does help if you know the number for people to call your own show. You can call us on Facebook Live. Only for this period, or you can call us right now on 845-363-4747. That's if you're calling from the United States. That's 845-363-4747. Let us know what you think. Let's go back to the chat feed. Jules says, Xander, thank you for being a voice for the people. Trump, thank you for listening to the people like no other president. Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. Trump is a good president, and I miss being there during his administration. Chet says he should have rubbed his nose in it. You know me, Chet. I went to try and chase after him, but he was already out of my driveway and leaving. Or I would have kicked his butt, to say the least, or made him clean up. I mean, should it be that we have to ask people for this level of courtesy in our homes when we have tradespeople visiting or people visiting to deliver? Or should that be the expected thing? We've got time to take one or two calls. Who's going to be brave enough to call in? 845-363-4747 if you're calling from the United States. That's 845-363-4747 if you are calling from the United States. Give us a call and we will get you on the air. No profanity, no swearing. I actually felt like swearing. I am still waiting for an apology from that company who are called Asda, but they're not interested. They're not responding to me. They're not apologizing. They basically they're not very good with regards to customer service. What else can I tell you? Joel says, my daughter-in-law expects folks who are able to take their shoes off. Now, I have a no-shoes rule, but it's kind of difficult to get people to do that. Was that a call coming in? I don't know. No, we can't call you. Someone just messaged me and said, can we? We have a call. Let's see who this is. Hello, you're live on XRadLive. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Sandy, and I'm calling from Orlando, Florida.
Hello, how are you? What would you like to share with us? We can't hear you very well. I don't know what's going on there. Maybe you need to turn down the sound on your computer with regards to the show.
I'm doing, you're right.
No problem, because otherwise we'll get this feedback loop and I'll end up in Narnia or somewhere. So what point would you like to share with us, Keith?
All right, yeah, so to talk to Mr. Xander. He's a pretty cool dude.
Well, thank you very much.
That's my own show as well. And I do Landy Magics. I run an entire production company and a whole host of shows.
Wonderful. So tell us what you think about the point we were making about when people visit your house. Should you have to tell them about being courteous, or should they, should they do these things as a courtesy, basically?
Like when someone goes to your house, should you welcome them in as a courtesy?
No, I'm saying should they wipe their feet and not smoke and these things? Is it the done thing to just do that, or do you need to actually be telling people about what the rules of etiquette are?
You should automatically know not to. You should automatically know if you go into someone's home. Say, for example, if they're already smoking and they offer you, and that's fine. But
right.
If not, no, you can do that because that's going to be very disrespectful. It's just like if they don't wear shoes, you should automatically put slippers on,
Right, absolutely. Yeah, I have a no shoes rule in my house because, I have carpeting and, but usually, tradespeople will wipe their feet. But if you're, toddling off to the kitchen and they're behind you, you don't always kind of see what they're doing, but it will make me in future observe this. Have you kind of had experience of this kind of thing yourself?
Yeah, I have.
So would you like?
And most of it's family you know, who do that, and then they think it's okay because they're close. Like, especially, like, let's say you live with your family and then you get your own house. You know, family will try you, but that's one thing. We're talking about the general public. So I'd say,
Absolutely.
you know, when you have people over, yeah, I've had some people over that don't. You know, I used to do Airbnb, and I had over 2,000 people coming through my home. So I met a lot of different people. Many of them from all through this country, but a lot of them out of this country too. So I have several different perspectives.
So,
And it seems to me more people that from overseas that aren't from here are so much more respectful, man.
So in summation, you think you shouldn't have to tell people about common courtesy. They should just do it.
Yeah, definitely.
Great. Thanks for your call, Keith. Have a great night. We've got a few people that are waiting to come on air, but have a fabulous weekend, and thank you for calling. That was Keith. The lines are free. Come and give us a call. Tell us what you think. Should you have to tell people about what the basics are when they come to your house, or should they just know? Chet says about wearing shirts. I don't think there are many people that would turn up at my house without a shirt. If it was a woman, I would definitely ask them to put one on. I don't know if that sounds sexist. Unless they were breastfeeding. Really don't have an issue with that. You know, but I don't want to be looking at breasts. I think there is a general basic level of common courtesy out there. So we have time for one more call. Is anybody calling in? Yay or nay? Let's go to the live feed. Someone's asking for the number. It's 845-363-4747. If you're calling from the United States, that's 845-363-4747. If you're calling from the United States, before we bring our next guest on, who is a fashion doyen. She's absolutely fabulous. We've had her on the show before. Hopefully she's going to have some tips for me, because I don't know what about you out there, but I find that most people that are giving fashion tips either on the television or on in TV or magazine articles are actually giving them for women. Is that sexism? Call in. Tell us what you think. 845-363-4747. That's 845-363-4747. We probably got time for one more call before we bring on our next guest. I don't know if anyone in America is watching this. I'm a Celebrity. Get me out of here. But I found it pretty interesting to watch. But what I can't stand is they have these, what they call bush tucker trials that they have to complete in order to get their food. And they have to do things like eat grubs and eat maggots and eat dead flies. And, you know, after I have to look away. And I don't like anything involving animals because, you know, I don't care. I don't care if the human gets bitten. You know, that's their own tough luck. But I don't want the animal to get hurt. That kind of concerns me. Jules says, when entering someone's home, you do not want to leave work for the host or hostess. Yes, so all of you that are coming to me for Christmas, I'm sure some of you are watching, make sure before you leave that all the dishes are put into the dishwasher and that things are left clean and tidy. Haha, I wish. So hello to Robert, who just joined the live feed. We've got time for one more call if someone wants to call in before we bring on our guest. 845-363-4747. You see, you all complain about not being able to call in, and then when we give you the chance to, very few are able to do so or willing to do so. Justin says, entering home, you wait until invited. Well, I did invite the person in, but I didn't say come in and smear your mud and crap off your work boots all up my beautiful carpet and rug. But you know what can you do? So I guess we're not going to be taking any more calls. Hello to Dan, who just joined us, my Connecticut stalker over there. I'm just gonna get set up for our guest, and then I'm gonna introduce them, and then I will give them a call. So let me remember how to do this. Here we go. I need a producer. Who wants to come and be my producer? You'll have to move to England and do it from here. But you know, I can't pay you very much, but the food will be absolutely excellent. Can't even turn down the volume now on my computer. Who can recommend a really good type of computer? I need to get a new laptop, and I want one that kind of works. And when I click on the sound, it doesn't say not responding. Why is it so often with computers we get this thing that says not responding? Okay, well, without further ado, I'm going to bring on my next guest. She was born and raised in New York. St. Louis-based designer and style guru Al Hawatma credits much of her artistic flair in fashion and design to her multicultural Jordanian Lebanese atmosphere she experienced growing up. The rich colors and textures of traditional Lebanese art and clothing helped her to mold Allah's affinity for bright, bold colors. She has styled countless celebrities and designed for the Oscars, New York Fashion Week, Dr. Gina Loudon included, music videos, etc. She also founded Ola Style on the heels of success of another venture, Mama Me Makeover, a personal styling company providing in and out makeovers focused on mothers to help them feel more confident about themselves. So let's, without further ado, give Ala a call and get her on the show. You know, if my computer gets any slower, it is going to catch cold. Let me try refreshing the page. Hi to Dave, who says he just got in from work. Get yourself a cup of tea, dude, and sit and relax and enjoy the show. I'm going to try and bring on our guest now. Let's call her and hope she picks up. So here we go. Shall I pretend to be a curry house, or shall we say we're Italian food? Here we go. Let's hope she picks up. Hello, Ala. Welcome back to the show. How is the world with you?
Oh, just getting back from Arizona and getting ready for some more trips. DC.
You never seem to stay in one place very long, do you?
I can't. I like to keep moving.
So tell us what you're doing. What were you doing in Arizona, and on what project you're working on right now?
Okay, so right now I'm working on, actually, it's called the Middle Eastern Women Coalition. I will be speaking at Capitol Hill on the December 12th. In regards, and of course, supporting Trump as well, and against child marriages, and in regards to women being treated like second-class citizens.
Absolutely.
In the Middle Eastern world. And a little bit, I'll get into Obama.
Yeah, you always kind of got to get into Obama just a little bit, even if it is about talking.
Just a little. They
Yeah.
sucker punches at us. Why can't we do the same?
Exactly. And I get into trouble for even mentioning his name, because apparently if you talk about him, you're racist, which I really don't get that concept. But let me ask you this: how as an American woman does it make you feel when we have people in the United States like Linda Sarsour, who is, pro-genital mutilation and even threatens women in the United States with genital mutilation that disagree with her. And we in New York City are funding this hate speech via the New York Mayor Bill de Blasio.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Hello? Did we lose you? We lost the wonders of... Hello? Hello?
Hello?
We got you back. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Now I can hear you. I don't know what happened.
And the wonders of modern technology. You see, I'm in the UK and you're in the United States. And, there's like this big rubber band in between the two of us, and these vibrations kind of, they twang along it. So I was asking you about how you feel about women like Linda Sarsour, who.
Well,
Go ahead.
I'm completely. The thing with me is I'm against anyone that doesn't stand up
Right.
for the rights of us females.
Right.
And in regards to Middle Eastern, I'm not targeting directly the Muslims.
No.
However, the culture in itself.
Absolutely.
And bringing it to the States and supporting and allowing this to happen.
Right.
It's just disgusting. I got out of it, but I'll be speaking a little bit on a personal note, but it's just, it disgusts me, as a Middle Eastern, not only a Middle Eastern American, but a Christian, okay?
Right.
And I have no respect for, but then again, I'm open-minded to hear other views, but it just doesn't make sense to me.
No.
Closed-minded people are and one-sided just completely when it comes to this subject.
Absolutely, because I think what the leftists try to do is to paint the right into a corner where if we disagree with anything, then we're a hater. I mean, I have many friends who happen to be Muslim, and a lot of them don't agree with these things either. And I think your average Muslim living in the United States appreciates that, it's a and the same in the United Kingdom, that it's a Judeo-Christian country, and that Sharia law just is not going to work.
No, absolutely it's not. And the population of the Muslims, it's just amazing, but it's not going to work. I agree with you completely.
Absolutely.
So it's the first ever, the Middle Eastern Women's Coalition, and it's just speaking from our heart and from our experience and from our, we're all, as Christians and women that are on board, will be talking about their own personal experience, which is, it's hard to even hear. It's just touching. But yeah, it's kind of like I've already been getting a lot of negative feedback. Oh, you're targeting the Muslims and this and that, and I'm like, it's not even a culture. It's not even a religious. It's not about Catholic, or even though I'm Catholic. It's not about the Muslims. It's about the culture in itself.
Absolutely.
It's about what they're doing. It's not okay for a 12-year-old. For this child marriage and the mutation. What they're doing is not right.
Right.
And they can't speak their minds.
No.
And now we have a voice. And
So
I'm
actually
also thankful for Trump.
Right.
For Trump for giving us a backbone to have a voice.
Absolutely, and I think that the thing is that I'm sure you would agree with this. This is not about disagreeing or hating Muslims. It's about disagreeing with some of the practices that are a part of this. And this is a real concern for me too, because I think that when we don't speak out about it, what we do is we give it credence, and that for me is a huge concern.
I agree, and it's sometimes we're it's as Republicans, we as a Republican, and I see my Republican sisters, it's they take the more as conservative as we are, the more the side where they don't have to, they fight or argue, where you look at the left and it's like every little thing, they nitpick at.
They do.
And so we can't open our mouths, but you know what? It's time, and with Trump in office and hopefully 2020, it's time to speak up.
Right.
It's time to stop some of these practices. It's time, for women to have, their rights back. And again, I agree completely with what you said. It's not about, the religion, Muslims versus Christianity. It's the practice of the culture.
Absolutely.
itself.
Absolutely.
So we're working on that. I'm working on, I created Survivor Fashion Week, so I'm doing fashion shows where all my models are breast cancer survivors.
Wow, that's great.
And yeah, so all the proceeds, go to charity to help women who can't afford mammograms, etc. But I did my first show on October, and it was a huge success. I raised over $20,000 for them. So.
Wow. And on average, how much does a mammogram cost in the United States? Because I know that, I had a lot of issues when I lived there, which is part of why I had to come to the UK for treatment with regards to not having insurance. How much does an average mammogram cost to someone that doesn't have insurance?
I would say a little over $1,000.
Wow. So you raised $20,000 and that would pay for like 20 mammograms. That is astounding. It really
Well,
is.
not only does it pay for mammograms, but the women that were on stage that have just gone through breast cancer, a couple of them going through radiation, the confidence in their eyes and feeling like supermodels on stage. I mean, it was very powerful to see.
Absolutely.
And a privilege to have a part of the whole thing and creating something.
Absolutely.
But that's the whole thing, and that's my whole message with everything that I do as a fashion designer.
It's great to see you giving back, because a lot of people don't do that, and I know a lot of it is time related, but I think it's important to be actually putting something back, because I don't know about you, but I kind of feel that when God blesses us, then we should bless other people as a part of that process.
Exactly, and that's what I believe in as well. I mean, you have to give back.
Absolutely.
And not only do you have to give back, but it's like everyone has a purpose. If you are blessed, as you said, make a difference. Do something with what God has blessed you with. Do something with
totally.
With your gifts. And if you can't make a difference in one's life, it's like, are you really? What's the purpose of even doing something if you can't make a difference?
Absolutely, and I think a lot of people feel that maybe they don't have anything to give. And I know people think, oh, I don't have anything to give financially, but there are other ways to give, and even the Bible talks about this. It talks about giving of your time, talents, and worldly treasures. So there's more than one way, more than one way to give. Now I want to move the conversation on a little bit to fashion, because one of the things that I find, and I'm sure you get asked all the time about, what's in, what's not in, what's good for women, what's not good for women. Why don't we see any kind of like fashion tips for men or anything of that ilk?
There should be.
There should.
I did a winter. I actually write for a men's magazine, and I do a fashion spread on men's fashion. But there's more of a female, because the market, females just are more fashionable.
Yeah.
There should be more of a niche for the fashionable man to go out and see the trends that are out there and easy to access.
Right.
I don't think there's enough of that. I agree with you.
Absolutely. I think it's hard for men as well. I'm certainly not a clothes horse or a style icon by any stretch of the imagination. But when I go out, when people see me in public, I want to look
absolutely
halfway.
Your image is everything, and some I guess more females tend to want to they're more into their image than men, the average man. So
Absolutely.
I guess that answers your question. However, there should be more access to style, trend, information for like just the average man that wants to know what's in trend, what's in season. When I style my clients, and they're always asking me, male or female, in regards to, well, what's the color of the season?
Right.
I don't believe in that.
No, I
I'm
don't.
like, the color of the season is whatever looks good on your complexion.
Exactly.
Whatever color looks good on your complexion, that's the color to go with.
Exactly. Now, let me ask you, before we move on, I want to ask you one more question about men's fashion. Now, you probably, I don't know if you're watching the video of this, but I'm not really, as I've got older, really a makeup person, but I've really got into a product called tinted moisturizer, and so you put it on, because I'm the widest guy and it gives you a little bit of color.
I love my tinted moisturizer.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like so in love with it. And I put it on before I go out, and you can't tell I've got it on. And people are like, "Have you been on your holidays?" I'm like, "No, I just went to the drugstore and spent $4 on tinted moisturizer." So it really is, it really is a good, cheap, and easy way to make a difference. Now, tell me, if you could name 3 must-haves for women with regards to fashion, what would you say they were?
Oh, accessories, belt, scarf, earrings. They make such a difference.
Right.
So definitely I would say first accessories in regards to bronzer, highlighter.
Right.
Such a difference. Bring those cheekbones out. Lashes.
Right.
Always keep lash glue and lashes in your purse.
Yeah.
It makes a difference when you have full lashes. It just opens up your eyes.
But some people can't put them on, can they? 25 years ago.
There's so many spas that do it.
Really?
It just changes the whole. Oh yeah.
Right.
Amazing lash studio. There's so many lash studios out there.
Right.
That
Absolutely.
for you, and you look at the difference, and it's just amazing.
25 years ago, when I used to do stand-up comedy, I went to a gig once, and the compere didn't turn up, and they wanted someone to do it in drag, and I'd never done anything like this before. And so I got this lesson from this drag queen in makeup, and I never forgot it, about how to put eyelashes on and to use the end of a makeup brush and put the glue on and spread it and let it get tacky and then just kind of like place them on your eyes. So I never forget that. So when I see women putting eyelashes on, I'm like, stop it, you're doing it wrong. And, kind of give them this little lesson.
There's an easy fix. I mean, YouTube. You can figure out anything on YouTube.
Right.
Seriously.
Gosh,
You
yeah.
know? But everyone is different. Everyone's different. And my biggest, I guess the best accessory to have is confidence. Everyone's different, and sometimes they want to follow the trends.
Right.
But I always push on individuals and my clients, be yourself and who you are. Like, what is your style? What do you like to do? And kind of experiencing with other, different colors, different, fabrics and different outfits and layering. I love layers, especially this time of year. But just, yeah.
So what about bigger people? I'm a big guy, and I don't want to be just a jeans and t-shirt kind of guy. So I kind of experiment, and people say, oh, you should always have things that fit you tightly, but I don't feel comfortable in like that. I like things that are a little bigger. I like things that have a little bit of a split down the side, so when you sit down, it doesn't like roll up to your chin. And even just little things like when I go out, like I said about the tinted moisturizer, I pencil in my eyebrows and my goatee. I'm giving away all my secrets here, but it's the difference is like night and day, and even though I might feel like crapola, I kind of look okay, which to me, is half the battle.
Exactly. Well, you know what to wear and to make you feel good.
Absolutely.
Thank God for people who keep me in business who don't know.
Yeah,
where they have to hire your stylist.
Yeah.
Kind of direct them in the right direction.
Exactly. I mean, do I prefer someone to do it for me? Hell, yeah. I like to sit there and have my face done and to be pampered and walk away. Where they've straightened my hair and my hair looks like $1 million and I did some modeling 20 years ago. I shared a picture of it the other day and people were like, oh, that's not you. I mean, yeah, it is me, but you can make a silk purse out of a sow's ear if you're really good at it. So we're coming to the end of our time together, but it's always lovely to chat to you. Tell people where they can find you and also where they can help with the projects you've been talking about.
Oh my gosh, just go on my website. You will see different links, olastyle.net, olastyle.net. They can follow me on Instagram, StyleOla. Thank you. I always love being on your show. You are so much fun. I can't wait to meet you.
Yeah, absolutely. Next time I'm in New York, we have to get together with Dr. Gina.
Yes, we're going disco dancing.
For sure, yeah, that will be amazing. All his contact details are on the X-Rad Facebook page for this week. So make sure you check her out. Go follow her and see what she's doing and support some of the amazing projects that she's working on. For now, thank you so much and have a wonderful weekend. All lots of love. We will speak to you again soon, I hope.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. Take care. That was the fabulous Ala Hawatma. Check her out at olastyle.com. As I said, all of her contact information is on the X-Rad Facebook show for today. Before we bring our next guest on, let's have a quick look in the live feed. I've missed lots of the comments. Dave is saying, yep, we're talking about male breast cancer, male breast checks, and mammograms in the chat room. Yes, it's very important for some men. I actually read something that I really didn't realize that that chicken soup has hormone in it that can make men's breasts bigger. So, you know, some men do need to check their breasts too, as well as their testicles. Hello, Neil. Welcome to the live feed. Sharon says she likes tops made with stretchy material so her movement isn't hindered because she says she's big, she thinks. Hey, honey, you're tiny next to me, I'm sure. Christy says she's jealous and wants me to come to LA. I tell you, next time I'm in the United States, when I'm back, we're going to have a live event and we're all going to get together. We're going to have an X-Rad party, which will be amazing. So I'm going to do the intros for my next guest now and bring her on. So Tammy Messina is a gun-toting Christ follower, wife, mother with passions for holistic wellness and preserving our constitutional liberties. Amen to that. She is the producer of the Real Side, Wrong Teeth In, and joins us live now from a place on the West Coast called California. Let's hope she will be here now as we call her. It's a ringing. It's a ringing. Neil's asking what country I'm in. I'm in the UK right now. Yes, I'm in England with all these British folk. Tammy is not picking up for some reason. Let me... maybe it's a problem with Facebook. Let me call again and we will get her on live. Maybe I should sing to you. Hello? Is that Tammy? You know, let's try this again. I think there's some problems with Facebook Live, but we're not going to panic. We're very chilled on this show. If you're watching from the BBC, see how well I deal with when things go wrong for live television. Hello to Laura, my niece. How are you? Hope you're feeling better. Don't know what is going on with this. Hello, is this Pizza World?
Xander.
Hi.
Yes, it is.
Can I get 2 pepperoni pizzas and can I get them really well done, please?
Absolutely.
So how is the world with you? You're live on XRadLive, and I saw you in the chat room. We have quite mixed conversations going on there. I always like to ask, how is the weather in California? Please tell me it's really cold and that it's been raining.
It was cold and rainy yesterday, very rainy yesterday. The pool almost overflowed, and today you could go outside and probably lay out in your bathing suit.
You know, I hate this country. The weather is like, you know, it rained all day here and it's so cold. I've got long johns on, and I've got gloves on when I'm not on the air. It's that cold. Now, someone else who visited the UK recently, which is a great segue, is Michelle Obama, and she was speaking to schoolgirls in inner city London. She said had made her feel like her old self. We won't go there. Since first time becoming the first lady of the United States, my first comment was, "What is that, a man?" Obama's wife explained how she had bonded immediately with these pupils as she saw how they would have to fight the invisibility that comes with being poor, female, and of color. On a visit to Britain in 2009, she was invited to Elizabeth Garrett Anderson School in Islington, which is in North London. About 200 pupils were gathered in a hall to watch a performance, I don't know what that means, by fellow school children, and hear Mrs. Obama's first speech abroad as the First Lady. Well, she's not the First Lady, she's the ex-First Lady. She'd been in the White House for 2 months and had felt at times overwhelmed by the pace of unworthy of the glamour and anxious about the children and uncertain of her purpose, explaining in her memoir, Anything to Sell a Book, which is called Becoming, how public life can strip away the person's identity, she adds. But here, finally, speaking to those girls, I felt something completely different and pure, an alignment of my own old self in this new role. I almost felt myself falling backwards into my own past. Let's not go there. You had only to look around the faces in the room. Despite their strengths, these girls would need to work hard to be seen. What the heck is this woman doing, Tammy?
I don't know. I never really pegged her as a drama queen, but I guess she is.
I think she's become more of a drama queen since she left the White House. But I think the thing that's funny, I think it's like they're trying to carve out this niche for themselves after making such a bad job of the presidency, and now they're going to do a reality show, and she's dissing the president every chance she gets. We talked about this earlier in the show. They did this at the funeral. They gave what's his wife called, Melania, dirty looks, and all of this kind of really bothers me.
Yeah, they already are supposed to have a niche, and that niche is to go crawl in a cave somewhere and hide until at least this full administration is over, because get out, you're done.
Right.
Go away quietly,
yeah.
Find your life again, and just let the next person take over and do the job. That's what your niche is supposed to be. It's not supposed to be, the celebrity ex-president.
No.
Anyway, I don't really know, but, part of me feels kind of bad for her, just in the fact that I understand it must be difficult living in the public eye the way that you do, being scrutinized, but she was pretty much lifted up on a pedestal, which maybe that's hard too. I don't know, never happened to me. Hey, I'm one of those invisible girls.
Right.
So, that she talks about, but only the colored ones, so I guess I don't count.
Yeah, I just kind of
know.
What I don't get, and I'm probably going to get into trouble for saying this, because we're all supposed to be working towards equality and unity and being one, and even a lot of the professionals that come on my show that happen to be black say, why are we still having Black History Month? Why are we still separating black people from white people if we want this level of unity? I mean, is it me or what?
I don't know. I don't really have a problem with Black History Month as long as it's just reflecting on, how far things have come, because
right.
There were some horrible atrocities here.
There were.
I don't know. I mean, I think about that little gal, Malala, who I don't remember what Middle Eastern country she came from, but I mean, there's, probably pretty much every girl in the Middle East is invisible, and it's not because of their color.
Right.
And there's a lot. It's not a color thing that makes them invisible, and that's kind of the thing that put me off about that, is that she's so focused on color, which just says so much about them.
Right. But isn't that a liberal thing?
I guess.
I'm really finding more and more that it's unfortunately a liberal thing, because I'm all for communities celebrating their diversity, but when as a part of that, I have to feel bad about my diversity, then there's something wrong,
Right. I would say most of the people that I run into that have that color focus do tend to be liberals, but I'm actually kind of surprised that when I talk to people of color, sometimes I'm shocked that, they are conservative leaning, but they are also very race leaning, and it's a hard racial lean. And I think some of that is not just political leaning, but there's a whole lot of factors that come into play, both, how they were raised, where they were raised, what kind of environment they were raised in, and what they were brought up in. I grew up in the South. There's still a whole lot of racial divide happening there. And it's ingrained. It comes up through the ages, and it's going to take a while to wash a lot of that away, that, every white person is not rich and evil.
Right. But I'm not going to, I think since the Obama administration, I think that has kind of got worse, and I'm not blaming Obama. But I'm actually, I'm not.
I'll blame him for you. It's his fault.
Yeah, well, let's face it, that's what usually happens. I think the thing is for me that I'm not owning that anymore. And I'm not going to be made to feel bad and wrong and different because I'm white. Because, I treat everybody the same regardless of their color and the color of their skin, their ethnicity, their sexuality. And so I won't allow the left to weaponize their commentary by stifling mine.
Right. The color issue, if you go to another country like South Africa, where whites are in the minority, they're the ones that, I'm assuming they tend to be the rich ones, but they're getting beat up and injured, and it is reverse racism. They've got their own thing going on there, and my chiropractor, she's a Muslim, and her family came in from someplace in Africa to Canada to get away from racism. And I said, what do you mean? And she said, well, we were too light-skinned. So the racism thing, it's just a lack of education, understanding, and tolerance of people who happen to look different than you. And it goes in all directions. It's not just white people on black people.
No, because there's kind of this inter-racism. When I worked in London like 25 years ago, I worked in a training company, and African black people looked down on Jamaican black people because they said this was their ideology, their words, not mine, that they weren't real black people, and so I can't.
I wish you could see my face right now.
Yeah, the mentality of it was kind of just too much for me. But I do think go ahead.
That's a mindset and a cultural upbringing more than it is a political ideology, although it is very much ingrained and rooted, I think, in the liberal political ideology. But I don't think it's isolated to them.
No.
That's what I would say.
Absolutely not. I'm just not going to buy into it, and I think that it's actually better not to do that. I mean, I actually got an email a couple of weeks ago. Somebody asked me if I hated the Obamas, and I don't hate anybody. I might disagree with a lot of things that they've done, and Barack Obama's political stylings and ideologies, but I don't hate them. And certainly, I don't dislike them because of the color of their skin. If I saw them in a bar, I would run like heck. No, I would buy them a drink, and I wouldn't spit in it.
Well, I kind of, watching and talking to people who have differences of political leanings, sometimes it seems to me that they don't understand that you can hate what a person is saying without hating the person.
Yeah.
And I can hate what someone does. I mean, it's like if you catch your child stealing, you hate that they've stolen, but you don't hate your child.
Yeah.
And so I can not like what somebody does with it not having an impact on whether I like them or not.
There's a spiritual connotation to that too, because the Bible teaches us to love the sinner and to hate the sin. So it's just the same, isn't it, really? I want to try and get in one more topic before we have to end. So Central American economic migrants, and that's what I'm choosing to call them because that's exactly what they are, on the border of Mexico breached the fence on Monday, risking detention by U.S. authorities, but hoping the illegal entry will allow them to apply for asylum. Since October, thousands of Central Americans have traveled north through Mexico in a caravan, some walking much of the long trek. President Trump has vowed, quite rightly, to stop them sending the troops to the border, so far denied by the courts, to require asylum seekers to remain in Mexico and apply for asylum on their $1,200 phones. Now, some attempted an illegal entry from Tijuana as dusk fell on Monday, and about 24 people climbed the fence in a large overgrown ditch where the fence is slightly lower. 3 squeezed through the fence on the beach and were quickly picked up by the U.S. Border Patrol. Witnesses said along the border, as inland as darkness descended, more and more of them followed, bringing children, such responsible parenting, and several of them ran to try and escape capture, but most walked slowly to hand themselves into the Border Patrol officials awaiting under floodlights. Now, my first response to this is I would just throw them right back over the border. No doubt about it.
Yeah. If they rush the border, they're the first ones that go back. Adios.
Yeah.
You don't even get an asylum here. I'm sorry. Those people who are waiting patiently for the asylum hearings, yeah, you can attend to them.
Yes.
The ones that rush the border, they don't even get to go to jail.
No.
Just drop ship them back to the other border and let them walk again.
Yeah, do not pass go. Do not collect $200. No, you can't go to California and vote. You see, the concern in this for me is that what we have to do is we have to separate these people who are actually economic migrants moving from where they live for a better quality of life. And whilst I see that does not an asylum seeker make. You know, the two are worlds apart.
I was just going to ask you that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't. We don't have provisions for economic migrancy, except just the normal immigration process.
No, because
if you want a better life, you go through the normal process.
Yeah, and for those that haven't gone through the legal process, why should they get to jump the queue? And I kind of think that, I mean, the whole immigration system is a mess right now, and it does need fixing. But we need to secure the border, and Republicans have been saying this as long as I can remember, even when I was a Democrat, before we can even talk about that. But do you think that is going to happen before we sit down at the table to actually fix the immigration problem?
No.
No, I don't, sadly.
I know. In my heart, I'm sitting here hoping that during this lame duck session that they do something, like fix it now before the Democrats take over in January. But right. I don't think it's happening.
Well, I would hope that the Democrats won't be taking over in January, because that scares me more than anything else. But you would think
they are.
Yeah, I know they are. But I can still wish that they weren't. But the point of all this is, for me, and this is like a lot of decisions that Donald Trump has made. They're actually about benefit America and the American people. So what does this actually say about the Democrats that don't want the border secured, don't want to fill our country with people who are not paying taxes, they're not contributing, they're not in the country legally? What does that say about them?
That they want to destroy what we are. They want to create chaos, because when you create chaos, somebody's got to rush in and fix it, and they're going to rush in with socialism.
But socialism doesn't work. All these people would not be leaving the socialist countries that they were fleeing.
I know. You're preaching to the choir, buddy.
Amen, sister.
But they have some twisted logic happening in their head. I don't know what they're thinking.
No.
Maybe it's just maybe it's more than anything about, maybe it's not even about changing the country. Maybe it's just about them maintaining power.
Do you know what?
That's really what it boils down to.
Do you know what I think it actually is? I think it's that they hate America. I mean, and clearly no one hated America more than Barack Obama. Just the decisions he made it blatantly clear that he did not love America. I mean, giving all that money to Iran and just freeing those Taliban top Taliban people. What do you think they went and did? Went and drove cabs. But let's not get on to Obama. We are nearly.
Cabs?
Yeah, probably suicide cabs with bombs strapped to their chests. Dip not included. I shouldn't do my impersonations because apparently it's racist now to do impersonation. But we are at the end of our time together.
Yourself,
But,
Xander.
sorry? Yes, I will be my unique
yourself.
self. And talking of being my unique self, I am going to be joining you tonight on The Real Side, 6 till 9, to guest host for Joe, because apparently Joe is going into rehab for his chocolate addiction. Is that right?
Yeah, that's it.
So make sure you join us.
Hours with Xander tonight.
Yeah. Oh gosh, how will they cope, Tammy? They'll be in.
I don't know.
They'll be in. They'll be going to rehab. No more Xander. Well, that is. We are coming to the end of our section. Obviously, people can find you at therealside.com, and if they come and check us out later, I'm sure they will have a fabulous time. But for now, thank you so much for sharing your views with us. The one, the only, the fabulous Tammy Messina. Thanks a lot, Tammy. Take care. See you later.
See you later.
Bye. That was the fabulous Tammy Messina, producer of The Real Side. Just time to go to the live feed to look at our last couple of comments before we go. Thanks. Chet says good luck. Thank you, Chet. Dave said Neil says, Neil, my cousin, they capture a lot of Asians and mixed in with the Central. Oh, I guess we're talking about the border guards. Yeah, let's send our prayers out to the border guards tonight. It must be a very difficult job to do. Thanks to everyone who's made today's show possible. Thanks to the fabulous Ala Hawama. Make sure you check her out. And Tammy Messina. All of the contact information is on the X-Rad Facebook page for today. As I said, if you've not had your fill of me yet, you can catch me on The Real Side later, 6 Pacific, 8 Central, 9 Eastern, and 2 a.m. in the UK. I'm going to be like this by the end of it with matchsticks on my eyes. We'll take your call now. And we will be taking some calls. So if you want to call us, we will be giving out the number later. So make sure you join us. I can't remember who's on next week's show. I can't remember everything. I do it all. The advertising, the producing, the writing. I do everything. But the glory, as always, must go in one direction, to God. Make sure you stay safe and warm out there. Make sure you share this page, this show, so other people can see what good we've been trying to do on it. We will be back with you next time, same place. I really do love you all. I do. I mean that sincerely. Bye-bye.
It has been good to me this time around. Things were the bound to change when it was found. Sugar never tasted sweeter on my lips. My heart is now intact, and I can find